The sudden plunge in Iranian oil exports. Iranian crude exports so far in November are down several 100,000 barrels per day from October levels, Daniel Gerber, chief executive officer at tanker tracking company Petro-Logistics, told Reuters on Thursday. According to Petro-Logistics and many analysts, Iranian exports in early November would indeed be much lower because many of Iran's customers hadn't requested any volumes for fear of breaching the US sanctions in the event that they failed to secure a waiver. Iran developing chemical weapons in violation of global treaty. The United States has accused Iran of failing to declare chemical weapon-related activities in violation of commitments to the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. Speaking to an annual meeting of the Intergovernmental Organization in The Hague on Thursday, US envoy Kenneth Ward said Washington is concerned that Iran is developing central nervous system acting chemicals for offensive military purposes. He did not cite the source of the allegation. Somerset man jailed for trafficking fighter jet parts to Iran. A businessman from Somerset has been jailed for trafficking fighter jet parts to Iran in violation of weapons of mass destruction controls. Alexander George, 77, from Long Ashton Village, was sentenced to 2.5 years for shipping military hardware, including Russian MiG and US F-4 Phantom parts, sent through a network of companies and countries. He is thought to have made £5 million from the trade. One month's salary paid to sugar factory workers and 3 detainees released. As Iranian officials announced on November 22nd that 1 month of the salary of Haftapur sugar factory workers has been paid, the labour union of the complex also reported that 3 more workers had been released from detention. 1,500 workers at the factory in Shush, in the oil-rich Kurdistan province, have been on strike and protesting for their unpaid wages for almost 3 weeks. According to the union, one labour leader, Esmail Bakshi, is still in custody, while some media outlets claim all workers have been released. 18 workers were arrested on November 17th, but most of them were released later. Intermittent protests still continue. 8 members of Iran's Baha'i religious minority sentenced to prison. In a wave of persecution of Baha'is in Iran, 8 members of the Baha'i community in Isfahan were sentenced to a total of 42 years behind bars. No information is available on the charges brought against the 8 Baha'is. They were arrested on September 23rd following home raids. The state security forces inspected their homes and confiscated their personal items. Political prisoner Atena Damai summoned to prosecutor's office. Political prisoner Atena Damai, held at the women's ward of Evin prison, was verbally notified on November 13th by the prison authorities that she had been summoned to Branch 5 of the Evin's prosecutor's office on November 14th. Damai did not appear at the prosecutor's office because she had not received any writ of subpoena. In similar cases, such summons ended up turning into false allegations filed against political prisoners by prison authorities or intelligence agencies. Female human rights defenders are particularly at risk of persecution because they defy traditional gender norms by publicly advocating for human rights.